Hi, everyone. Oh, just a minute. I got to get on my camera here. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Let me just put on live chat here. A little late going. Sorry, everybody. And I apologize again for the sucky light. It is rainy and gross out there. Very gloomy day. However, it's only 1 degree Celsius, so it's borderline kind of thick semi-snow. We'll see how the day goes. So who's all in here before I get cracking here? Alex, Deborah Holdman, hello, hello. And Vintage Style by Joe, my friend Joanna. Alex is an English countryside. Oh, nice. Joe's in New Jersey. Deborah's in Illinois. Hi, Deb. Deb S. Deborah Holman says it's raining there too. All right. It's supposed to get colder, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay, housekeeping stuff. Can you guys hear me okay? I got my mic on. I got a green light, so we should have sound. Tell me if you can hear me okay. It's the same setup as I did 2 weeks ago when I did my mic, so we should be fine. Unless Streamlabs has goofed something up that I don't know about. 2 weeks from now is Valentine's Day, and I'll do a Valentine project. I think I'm probably going to try out a different way to do coasters. I'll have to play around a little bit and figure that out. We'll see. Okay, good. Thank you, Deborah. Just wanted to make sure. I've noticed on my analytics lately that a couple previous Valentine projects are getting views now. Maybe it was 2022. I did a Valentine mug rug, gave it to a friend. So I can't show you, but the video is out there. You can look at it. And last year I made myself this. Quilt as you go. I made it for a size to sit on top of my bookcase. So this one's getting a pile of views. And I do not need to make bandanas because I have two. So the dogs are set up. One of them was our old dog Maximus's, and he wore it like a once. Then I had to get put down, so I just washed it. It's fine. The boys can have them maybe next week. We'll see. So, hang on. Where did I put that piece? Oh, here we go. I got a big messy God knows what all here. Hang on 1 second. Just a sec. I gotta. Oh, Wonkaput's here. I haven't basted it yet. Okay, piece 73 of the wolf. This huge thing. Looks like a hot mess. But I just finished it. I don't know when I'm going to put this thing together. I'm just doing a bit at a time and a chunk at a time and whatever. So I don't know if I can show you this. Wait a minute. It's this chunk right here. Sorry, I know I'm blocking my face, but it's this piece right here. That's the part of the wolf's face where the eye is. So this is piece 73 to 86 to get this area done. Here's all the little pieces for the eye. This one's done. Piece 83 is actually done already. When I had small pieces out, I just did it. So they're all sitting here ready to go, and I'm working on the big pieces first. Hi, Joyce. Okay, so I'm going to turn the laptop around a little bit because my wolf does have two ears. There we go. The white, this is one gemstone block that I'm kind of working on slowly. My sister has been getting physiotherapy for the pinched nerve in her left rotator cuff. So with any luck and weather permitting, we can have a work day next week. Yes, Alex, it's a wolf quilt I'm making. A little. Excuse me. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around a little bit because I got to press. And I'm sorry, everybody. I did get a new phone, but I was super busy the last couple weeks, 10 days since I got it, with work and everything, and I did not get a chance to play around with it to see if I could use it as a camera with Streamlabs or not. So hopefully upcoming I can do that. We'll see how that goes. So I have to cut a big piece from, this is shadow, this sort of light dove gray kind of idea. It's got a slight kind of creamier tone to it than some of the other grays. But I need a reasonably good chunk for this next piece that I'm working on. I don't think that little piece is going to amount to much of anything, but we'll put it over there. Okay. This is a goofy angle I got to watch out for, make sure I have good coverage. So give me a second, I'll come back and sew it. But I got to make sure here. Because when I flip it over, if it doesn't cover, then I'm kind of have a problem. All right, where's the edge of the seam allowance? Right there. Good. And there's the edge of the fabric right there on that seam allowance. Just. Ooh, close. Very close. I can scoot this a tiny bit, I think. Yeah, a tiny bit there. Better. Okay. All right, I got to hold this really carefully because this piece is just big enough. Hang on, let me get this sewn down before it shifts around on me. Just turn you guys a little bit. You can kind of see me a little bit better. I can only do what I can do with the tech that I have. Okay, I'm going up to trim a little bit. Oops, sorry. Ow! Yeah, and then I whack my elbow on the laptop. That's really good. Okay, there we go. Sorry, everybody. Close quarters in here a bit. Okay. I'm just trimming off bulk in the seam right now, in the seam allowance. We don't want that. We want it tidy. Whoops. Go all the way down, Kelly. There we go. I'm going to press it over. And hope it works. If I got enough piece. If not, I guess I'm picking it out. Wouldn't be the first time. Nope, seam allowance. Ha, look at that. Perfect. Sometimes I impress myself. Okay, now we need another piece of darker gray over here. This one's called Overcast. And we need it about, I'm just going to put the whole piece on and then trim off the excess afterwards, I think, just to make sure I've got enough. Because this is another strange angle. excess. All right, so that's got to go from there to there. And I have a good seam allowance. And we'll put it right there. I've got an overly large piece of gray here, but I'll trim off the excess after I baste around this piece. I baste around just to keep it not from jiggling around, since I could pin it up on the wall before I put everything together. These large pieces are actually pretty easy to assemble. And so far I'm having not very much trouble putting the pieces together. It's a pretty good pattern. My sewing isn't perfect, obviously, and my points don't meet up 100% all the time, but for the most part, this quilt's really coming along good. Everything meets up lovely. All right, let me just press this and I'll come back to chat. Hold on. Okay. Core things. There we go. Okay. Let me just turn that around again. Now, so I got piece 74 looking like a hot mess. Based around it. Oh, let's not have that all tangled up. There we go. And this piece I just did, I'll baste around that. So let's put my length on 3, not 1.5. And I'll do that momentarily. Okay. All right. So, hi, yeah. Oh, who's just come in? Oh, Ina's just come in, and Pastor House. Hello, hello. And Donnell. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Yeah, sorry, I was busy sewing. Okay, back to chat. Joanna says, how long on average does that quilt take to make? It's taken me a while because I'm only doing a bit at a time. But my friend Susan, Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan, she's got most of hers done, and she's got lots of time though, and she can just like sew, like whip it out, right? I can't really do that. The pieces are not hard. It's just you got to be careful to make sure that you have good coverage and you don't cut anything off and stuff. So it is a bit of careful attention, but they're relatively quick to see. This one piece, what did I just make? Piece 74 in 10 minutes. The littler ones are trickier. You have to be more careful with how your fabric goes. But these big pieces are quite easy. Okay, who did I miss coming in? Tracy? No. Who was in here? Okay, I'll make sure I go back. Okay, I think I've... Yes, I think this is your first time, Alex. Welcome. Nice to meet you. I'm just scrolling back chat a wee bit just to make sure I haven't missed anybody. I'm very grateful you all come in here to have a chat with me. Okay. Some more coffee. So do you guys do up Valentine's Day as a holiday event, whatever you want to call it? We don't really particularly. When my husband and I were first going out and first married and stuff, we'd go out or maybe to like a dance with our friends or something like that. But then we started having kids, and that was the end of that. And also in 2001, I gave birth to our son on the 13th. So we had a baby for Valentine's Day. Yeah, he's going to be 24 in 2 weeks. So pretty much ever since then, Valentine's Day has been like nada. My husband and I have a slightly nicer dinner than usual most of the time. I'm going to put my decor stuff out. My son is joining his sister and various of their friends for some Dungeons and Dragons thing on his birthday on the 13th. I guess that's come back around. I remember that from the 80s. Yes, I dated myself. You guys all remember that too? Dungeons and Dragons? That was the thing, right? I'm not making that up. Anyway, the weekend after his birthday is the family day long weekend in Canada. Excuse me. The holiday is the Monday, which is the, 17th? Yes, I believe it's the 17th. So we're going to have a family thing on Saturday the 15th. Family members coming over, dinner, whatever. So if I get the coasters made, then I can just put them out for that event, and then I'll put them back in my stash. We'll see how that goes. But the dogs will be bandanaed. I have some Valentine's Day earrings. They're not that fancy and impressive, but I have some of them, so I'll wear them coming up. Pat Strawhouse says, my sister gave birth to twins on February 14th. They'll be 55 this year. Oh, wow. Almost the same age as me. I'll be 56 in March. So, yeah. 2019, when my son was 18 and graduating, that was the year I turned 50. Man, it is just pounding out there. I'm looking out the window. It's bucketing. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's raining pretty hard. But I'm looking closely, and it looks kind of thick. So it's probably starting off snow up high in the clouds and melting as it comes down. I think we might have made 2 degrees now with all that. So we'll see how the day goes. The forecast doesn't look terrific, though. Hang on, let's check my phone, because my husband and I are kind of environment geeks, so we have the Environment Canada warning on our phones. Oh, it still says 31st of January. Through the morning, the high is going to make it to 5, and it says 100% chance of rain. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of... So maybe we won't get snow. Maybe it's just going to bucket rain all day. Which, okay, that's not very nice, but at least it's not going to be problematic on the road and all that. We do have to go. We have a dinner engagement tomorrow at our friends, and they live way on the other side of town. And it would be better if it didn't have any snow, because my husband took the truck in on Wednesday to get the bumper fixed finally after 2 months. It was a thing with insurance that had to wait. But then our daughter got knocked in her car from one of the clients at the vet clinic. So she had to borrow her dad's truck while hers was getting worked on. And so my husband has been like bottom end of the totem pole for getting things fixed. Dad, I need your truck. Yeah. So finally, but his truck has got proper snow tires and whatever. And we have a rental right now, and it just has all seasons. And he's kind of nervous if we have to drive it all the way across town. It's not his truck, Alex, I live in British Columbia, near Vancouver, but eastward. Okay, pardon me while I do a little bit of basting around here. Let me just scoot you around so you can sort of see what I'm up to. What's going on? There we go. What now? There we go. Come on. After I base these, then I trim it right to the edge of the seam allowance so that it's ready to go to be sewed together to the next piece or whatever down the road. But there's a good chance I'm going to get a couple of these pieces done and just have them pinned up on the wall sitting there for whenever I have time to make more and start putting them together. If my sister and I can get together and work on the gem quilt, I will let you guys know that. With any luck, yes. I've been doing the radiant block and it's kind of boring. I told my sister, like, yeah, I started it and like I had to get rid of it. It's like, I don't want to do this right now. I don't think so. Here, I'll unpin one piece. Can you guys see that? It's purple. Amethyst. This is my son's block for February. That's a crappy light, man. It's purple. The darkest color is actually Kona purple. But then there's like heliotrope and dahlia and thistle and all those other colors that go part of it. So I hope if I like film it what we're doing, you guys can see better. Bye, Donnell. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate your time. Yes, Enid is originally from kind of around here. We talk about Canada a lot. She's one of my stitchy friends. Okay. Just coming around the other side. I probably should have used a darker thread for this so you guys could actually see the basting, but hang on. I don't really want to put gray thread on ivory fabric. It's not really a good idea. So, just a second. Trim all the bits off here. Put in the garbage. Okay, so. Okay, you can kind of see this on the dark gray. See that line of stitching? You see that? I'm trying to get it close here, but I don't know if you can see that. Not as obvious. So it still looks like a hot mess, but it's under control now. And it'll look like a piece once I trim it. So that's the next thing. And then we'll base this one. I like to make a couple and then base them just so I don't have things flapping around everywhere. Keep some semblance of organization. Super busy. Oh my goodness. It seemed like the beginning of January was kind of long and boring, and then all of a sudden it was like, come on, there we go. There you go. Just stay there. Come on. I knew that large piece of gray was going to bother me. Oh well, it's okay. Let's just smooth it all down as we get to that part. Okay, fold that over. I have completed all the chunks of the wolf for the entire right side of it. They're pinned up in the closet though, out of my way. Just in case we get really going, my sister and I, on the gemstones, because we might want to have to use the design wall and lay them all out. Oh, Enid signed up for sewing lessons. Oh, thank you, Pat. It didn't look like much in the camera. I couldn't even tell. It looked like gray to me, so I'm glad you guys saw it as purple. Enid says, I've sewed a little, but I'm out of practice, and it's stuff like zippered pouch, tote bag, and coasters. Yeah, I haven't done anything with the zippers. I've watched lots of people on YouTube, so I'm just gonna like do some research before I do zippers. And I have made some simple bags before. They're not that hard to do. Like no zipper, no fancy, just a bag. Not that hard. So good luck with your sewing lessons. And I haven't had any time to stitch really either. It was a good thing I got my WhipGo goals finished earlier on in January. For those who don't know what WhipGo is and you're not stitchers like me and Enid, it's a way to sort of get your projects organized and make sure you're working on something. People do it all different ways, but it's kind of like having a bingo board where you put the numbers on and then the number corresponds to one project. And Jessie Marie does stuff. I think that's her channel. She does the pulling, like she pulls two numbers. She does a random thing. So for February, it's number 7 and number 8. So maybe by Monday or Tuesday, I can stitch something. We'll see. I do have to do lots more work for my husband's business too. So yeah, I knew February was going to be tricky. Okay, there we go. Now put that back down to 1.5. Okay, those ones need to be trimmed. Now the next piece I have to make, I'm trying to do them in order so I don't lose my train of thought. Oh, hi Gladys. Gladys is making not a wolf, she's doing an elephant, but it's the same pattern designer. So this is piece 75 I have to do next. So the main part is a huge chunk of khaki. And then the other two are cocoa, sort of a dark reddish brown. So, systematically, then I don't forget something and go, oh, I never made piece blah blah. No, I do it in order, right? So I got my big piece of khaki ready to go. But that's the first one, so I don't know. We'll see. I might be able to do a bit of work more on the weekend. I don't know. I might just sew piece 75 and then put it all away again. I sort of have it like tucked up underneath my table on top of my filing cabinet. So if I want to whip out a piece and do one, I can. It's out of the way but safe and not getting wrecked or mussed or folded up funny or anything like that. One more swig. Okay, I'm going to scoot you back around and go up and trim. Okay. Probably don't need that. So, the big ruler. There's a really long edge. Well, actually, both of these have two really long edges, so I think I have to use my long ruler for them both, just because it's a long seam. I'm going to put my weight on the end, again, because of a long seam. Okay. I don't think I can use those bits. Put them with my scraps. Maybe. Most of these light colors, I don't really have little pieces of. Like there's a couple spots on a couple of patterns where I do need a littler piece here and there. But most of these largest pieces do need largest pieces of fabric. It gets assembled sort of like jigsaw puzzle style. That's why the pattern wants you to make chunks. A chunk for the ear, right? Chunk for the eye, chunk for the rest of the fur. And then you start putting those chunks together, and then you get the top of the quilt. And I bought another gray called Shale that I'm going to use for the backing. And I don't yet know how I want to bind it. Probably just with the dark gray overcast that is like the background. Probably just that, so that it looks like there's a uniform, like it doesn't look like another color in the binding. I don't know. I'm torn. But then I could use some of the other colors. That might look cool, like scrappy binding, if I use like terracotta and paprika and things like that for the binding. Okay, this is piece 73. All tidy, all trimmed up. See, it doesn't look like a hot mess anymore. So let's grab a pin. We'll put it up on the board out of the way. Maybe 2 pins. Ugh. Doesn't come to any harm sitting over here for a while. Pinned up. There. There. Well, you lay flat there. I'll do you momentarily, and then I'll put all my bits of fabric away. Because some of those other pieces I can use once I turn them off. Okay, what do we got here? Okay. Oh, bye, Joyce. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. I know everyone's got a busy day going on, so I'm very happy that you take some time to be with me. I always appreciate that. All right. I don't need to continue doing more of the same. You guys get the idea. And I've done this quilt on lives before, so I don't need to carry on doing more. Hi, Mozilla. A snow day is a good sew day. Yeah, you getting snow where you are for sure. Mozilla lives in BC like me, but she's further away and up in the mountains, kind of, so, or at least through like another couple of mountain passes. So I'll be getting rain, but they be getting snow. So I think that's all I got to tell you. We'll see how time goes and what I get to do in the coming week, whether I can sew with my sister or not. We don't know yet. We're still missing 3 of the fabrics for the gemstones. So theoretically, we can make 7 out of 10 blocks and have the blocks done. But we can't do the other 3 yet because we don't need them. We haven't got the fabric. There was a place we got a bunch of Konas from, didn't have one of the reds. So, yo, Patty G, hello. Rainy day here. Great cleaning day. Yeah, I'm going to run the vacuum around later on too, probably. Pick up the dog fur. The poor dogs, they don't know if they're coming or going because it was kind of rainy and not like today, not cool but not cold, right? So that was the beginning of January. Then we had a little bit of a colder spell where it wasn't freezing like, you know, in the morning it would be like -4, -5, and then it would warm up plus. And it was a lovely sunny day. But they're like shedding and then not, and then shedding more and then not. They don't know if they're coming or going. They loved all the cold weather. They would lay frost on the grass. They'd lay out there just together, sitting there, watching the birds. Loved it. And usually we take them for walks over to in behind the ice rink because when they dump out the Zamboni, there's snow. But as soon as it got too cold, that snow was no longer snow and it was ice. So we didn't take them anymore because I don't want them slipping and hurting themselves. And yeah, so poor dogs. The breed is from Switzerland, so they love cold weather and snow, and we don't get cold weather and snow here. So they're out of luck. Alrighty, so I think I'm going to call it. I know it's only just after 9 o'clock, but I don't need to be yapping at you for no reason, and I'm sure you guys all are all busy. So I hope everybody has a good weekend, whether you're quilting or stitching or whatever. I don't know that anybody's supposed to have any crazy stormage coming up that I've heard. Fingers crossed. Just standard. And I'll see you in 2 weeks on another live. Otherwise, it'll be around everybody else's lives or just replay or whatever. I try to keep up with everybody. I've been remiss with that lately, too. Like, I got no time to be on someone's live. Like, periodically, yes. I mean, I can come in for like 20 minutes and say, hey, how's it going? But that's about it. I just can't. I got no time. So that's why you haven't seen me around a heck of a lot lately. Anyway, so I'm going to call this and we're going to shut it down at, what are we at now? 9:05. Okay, so bye, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you to everyone who's joined me. I do greatly appreciate it for spending some time with me, and I will see you around. Bye, everybody.